Welcome to another edition of Reflections. I'm your host, Deontay Brewer. Today we'll be talking about opening our hearts to mankind. You'll find this show engaging. Please remember to open your hearts to mankind. Thank you again for watching and have a wonderful day. Welcome to another edition of Reflections. I'm your host, Deontay Brewer. Today, we're going to talk about, or the theme of the show will be let's open our hearts to mankind. And I also want to kind of have a sub theme, that it's quote never too late. I'm going to start off with lyrics to a song called "I Don't Want to Be Misunderstood." It's by gospel artist, or should I say gospel icon, Tremaine Hawkins. The lyrics I'm going to start off with, so as follows. It says, "I'll never understand how my fellow man can live behind the wall of fear." And when I heard the lyrics to that song, I was listening to it the other day, and it made such an impression of me. Mankind, and when I say mankind, I speak of, humans, human beings, all races, all colors, all creeds, belief, how in the 21st century we still can live behind the wall of fear. And in that song, she was just encouraging, believers, Christian believers, but believers, people, I shouldn't say just believers, but people that do good, in life, or that, carry themselves, with an air of responsibility. She was saying that it's our mission to help others and to not judge others. And that's what she was saying in that song as well. We can't judge, and so I wanted to talk today about opening our hearts to mankind, being open to all that life gives you, and to stop closing your heart to things that you don't understand. And, if you have questions, you ask questions for clarity, in seeking to understand the differences in people, because, there's differences in people. The world is made up of different people, is what I'm trying to say, with different beliefs, from different cultures. And I think that, we're taught from an early age to be aware of those differences. But then on the other side, sometimes we're taught to separate ourselves from people because of differences. And in today's age and society, we can't afford to do that. We've had enough division insert itself into this country. And, it bothers me, that people, see differences in people and decide to, not have any dealings with them. And I can understand, if there's someone that, perhaps lives a life of crime, or indulge in, negative behavior. Sure, the average citizen is not going to cast their lots in or associate with that person. But what I'm saying is, don't, let your attitude, about that person, don't develop a negative attitude about that person that makes you better or superior than them, because we're all human beings with the same basic wants and needs and desires, and we have to move beyond that wall of fear and step out and see if we can help, the next person. How can we be of assistance? You're not to judge people, just because their walk or their life is different than yours, and I think it starts, as children, kids, you drive by any school and you see children, playing all together, at recess, on a field, just playing and laughing. And, but then as children get older, I would say maybe by, middle school, they begin to separate themselves into groups. based on their beliefs and things they have, or not necessarily beliefs, but things that they have in common, and cliques and things like that begin to form. And other kids can be left out, because they're different, and I think that we should just teach, our young people that, yes, everyone's different, but don't let your attitude, become so superior to where you don't reach out, to someone that's different, or where you don't include, be inclusive. I have always, been that type of person, that, wanted to get to know other people and other types of people. I've never let, my family, or society tell me, well, that I couldn't be friends with this person because they're, they have this lifestyle or they're this type of person. No, I've always wanted to connect with people, and I think it's made me a better person. I know it has, because it's allowed me to be understanding of all types of people. And so, I mean, like I said, that song was very, very encouraging and inspiring to me, because of its message, to, be kind and, look out for others and, don't judge people. And I think, today that, people still find themselves judging people, in today's society. I know, I think of, within the LGBTQ community, there are, now pronouns that, people choose to identify themselves with. And, you have a lot of people, that don't agree with the LGBTQ community. They don't understand, why people choose to identify, with pronouns. And so they begin to attack, what they don't understand, and that's all been prevalent, in society. When people don't understand something, they attack or speak against, or, but you can, read about it, read up on it, or ask questions from someone, who chooses to, go by a pronoun. And then you'll learn something, you'll be educated, but don't just automatically dismiss, because of what you don't understand. And that's been a common theme, with, homophobia. I was watching a documentary on that, and on homophobia and how it had spread within society. And there were videos in the 50s, that, were propaganda type videos, just labeling, people of the LGBTQ community, and just horrendous. I won't even go into what those videos stated, but just the propaganda, in the 60s and 70s, and even in the 70s with the quote, "Save Our Children." That was Anita Bryant and that campaign in California, and Christianity was mixed in with that, and it just hurt me to see Christians, whom are supposed to love everyone, spew such hate and vitriol towards, the LGBTQ community and people with AIDS, all under the name of Christ, and that was not of God, because God is a God of love, and God, made everybody, so he knows everybody. And within that documentary, there was an evangelical minister, and the filmmakers asked that minister, well, okay, if there's a person that's LGBTQ, how can we get them? What can we say to them to get them to come back to church and renew their fellowship? And that minister says, just to say, I'm sorry, those that, are in church, and, leaders, to tell, the community that they're sorry, to tell those members that they're sorry, and I said, yeah, an apology, would be something, it'd be to get the ball rolling, because people, just the words you say, and how you say them, can really negatively affect a situation. And it's not just, within the LGBTQ community, it's, with minorities, it's with the disabled. There's so many communities that have been affected, people, because they don't understand, the ignorance behind that lack of understanding, has created, negative effects for people in those communities, in the African American community, and, people that are disabled. And so we just have to seek to understand, that's another theme. Seek to understand. Like I said, if you don't understand something, read about it, or ask a question. Find someone and ask a question, but as long as we continue to, live in the dark, you'll never, get the answer, that you desire. There's just so much going on in the world, so much, people have such an opinion, but they're not willing to come together, and talk things out. I think of, these mass shootings that have blanketed the country, this year in 2021 alone, these gunmen, have just targeted, gone to their places of employment and other public places and killed, shot and killed innocent people. There's many factors, many factors, but a lot of, a lot of the gunmen, have been affected, with personal problems. And, perhaps if someone had, saw warning signs, a lot of times afterwards, you'll see their families will say, well, he had a history of mental illness, or, he was depressed, and, no one was reaching out. We have to, give an ear and an eye to situations, people in those situations, and reach out. Don't just be dismissive, or standoffish, but reach out, because you never know. You could save lives, by reaching out to that person. You can maybe save some lives down the line. Don't be afraid to reach out and lend a helping hand to people. And I think that, as, time has gone on, people, if it doesn't go on in their house, if it's not going on, they're not concerned, about the next person. And I believe that, we have to start, looking out for our friends and, our family members. And I was also, listening to another song, and she was the same artist was, she was saying she doesn't want to be misunderstood. She doesn't want to be misunderstood. And she was talking about, brotherhood and, people helping each other and not wanting to be misunderstood just because she's lending a helping hand. Sometimes people will, misunderstand your intentions for things. I'm the type of person where if I see someone in need, I don't care if it's a man, a woman, or an ape, I'm going to go up to that person, if I know them, and ask them, what's going on? How are you? Is there something I can do to help? But some people will look at that, especially, if you're, a male, when you're reaching out to another male, some people sometimes will kind of cast an eye over that, wondering, why are you reaching out, or why are you so concerned? And it's like, well, because I'm a human, and I see another human in need. And, we just have to really, people, dispel those notions, get over the idea that, men, can't look out for other men, whether they're our brothers or our uncles or just friends, we have to start looking out for each other, and gender really shouldn't matter. If you see a need or a concern, it's good to reach out and help, and, it just bothers me, it bothers me that, I see women, for the most part are very helpful, towards each other, but, there's always, it seems like there's an issue when men, come together and try to help each other in need. It's as if, we can't reach out or need help, that we have to bear whatever's bothering us alone. And it should not be that way. We have to look out for each other. We have to look out for our brothers and sisters. And that's what she was saying in that song. And so, it's with it being springtime and summer's coming, the world has certainly, beginning to change. And when I say change, under the guise of the pandemic, inroads have been made. Many Americans have become vaccinated, and I feel that we're making progress. And, soon enough, we're going to have a solution to this pandemic. And, the veil will be lifted, and, society will be open again, but there will still be those same issues, and problems left over from the pandemic. And I would think that the pandemic has taught us Americans to be compassionate and kind towards each other, but yet and still there will still be people, left to stew in their own ignorance. And so, I encourage you all, that's watching this, to open your heart, to mankind, and, to step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone and, be there for someone that's in need. Be receptive if someone's trying to offer you help, be receptive. Challenge your modes of thinking and how you were raised, to look at people and, different people and challenge your ways of judging people, that's, for me, I know I've had to do that. I was brought up in church and, I, saw things a certain way, but I had to, as I've aged, I've had to challenge my thinking. Because you can get stuck in a mode of thinking and not grow as a person, and those of us that do go to church, there's, in the Bible it says, judge not, lest you be judged. So it's not good to judge people, I felt very strong about that today, because like I said, it's just so much in the world, when I've always tried to, be kind and be open to people. And I know within my line of work, I service a lot of people every day, a lot of, whether it's single men and women, whether it's couples, whether it's couples with families, when it's very common for me to give a compliment, to, if I see, someone that has a nice shirt on, or, a guy with a nice shirt or a lady with a nice dress. It was just how I was raised as, oh, sir, you look nice today. Or, ma'am, that's a beautiful dress you have on. And, most times people are, well, thank you, but sometimes, I'll have somebody to give me a look and it's like, well, I'm just saying you look nice, don't take offense, because it's how people were raised. I've now learned that, most men, were raised, to where other men don't give them compliments, and so that would be a whole nother show. I'm not going to get into that. But what I will say today is to challenge your modes of thinking and how you were raised, and, realign those modes of thinking, into the 21st century. Be open, to people and places and things that are different. You may find something there, that can help you be a better person, that, may enhance your life. And so, it's never too late. It's never too late to open your hearts to mankind and just be the best person you can be. I think I've been reading on the presidents lately, and a lot of those men were elected into office, to change the morale of America, through government and through business and trade, and, the morale, to change the morale of, Americans. And that's very important. America, has always been a place, where people, can make something of themselves, and be who they want to be. And we're still getting to where, we're accepting of people. But I believe in America. I believe that, people should be, who they are, and they should not be punished, or even challenged because of who they are. And a lot of times they are challenged and punished. It's because of how they were raised, and or the people how people raise, their children, when you raise children to think certain things and they grow up to be adults. And so we have to all I'm saying is just, rethink the ideas that you're putting into children in their minds, and, teach them that they don't have to, align themselves with, people that are different, but their attitudes, what they think, towards those people, can be very beneficial. So I just really wanted to get on and speak of that today, and encourage you all, to be better in your thoughts and in your actions, and we will continue to make this world a better place. As I always say, be bold, be you, and be blessed. Everyone have a great day, and thank you for watching.